Yesterday, I talked about the average savings rate per person per state. It was surprising. Hawaii had the highest saving rate. It was over $43,000 per person. Today, I'm going to talk about the other side of the coin. That's debt. Specifically, Gen Zers have a debt crisis. And you'll be surprised. The average Gen Zer has $94,101 of debt. That's a lot of debt, over $94,000 per Gen Zer. And even more concerning is 52% of surveyed Gen Zers say credit debt is on their mind most of the time. And they're seeing their credit card debt climbing. Many of them are using their credit cards to cover basic living expenses. Of course, the rising cost of living and student loan burdens are contributing heavily to this issue of their debt. And the overdue debt is that's late payments on debt is at its highest rate in years, with more 90-day delinquencies than we've seen in over 3 years. But here's the thing: here's a bigger issue, and this is really what I want to talk about today. Is Gen Zers are suffering from a lack of financial education, with over half of them reporting they've never received any formal financial education or guidance. Over half, 53%, say, hey, nobody ever told me about finances. No wonder why I'm not using my credit cards right. No wonder I'm $100,000 in debt. Nobody told me differently. Now, I'm going to share the article. I'm basing this off of an article. It actually was published a month ago. I just came across it. It's in Newsweek. Says Gen Z has a debt problem. Let me share it with you. Here you go. Here's the article. I'm going to show just two charts. This is the first frightful one right here. This right here, you can see Gen Zers. You can see right here, $93,000, $94,000, significantly higher than other generations, right? With baby boomers having the least amount of debt. Now, but let's look at what that debt is, because where does it actually come from? Here's the debt. Of the $94,000 that every Gen Z or average Gen Zer has, 56% is from credit cards, 31% are from student loans. 23% are personal loans. Wow. 19% is medical, 16% is mortgage, 10% is auto. But that 50% of that means that the average Gen Zer has over $47,000 in credit card debt. Wow. Whoa. And this article goes on to say, look, the biggest challenge is just, look, the Gen Zers don't have financial literacy. They're totally clueless. And you know what? That's where we come in. That's where you and I come in. I am completely aligned with Dave Savage and Kristen at First Home IQ. Their mission is to help solve the financial literacy crisis in America. They correctly believe that loan officers, we're on the front lines of that battle, and we're actually can be the instruments to help win. Each one of us are in our communities. We should be trusted advisors. We should be going out there and teaching financial literacy. Right? And as we teach financial literacy, you know what happens? We possibly pick up a future client. It may not be today's client, but it will be tomorrow's client. And we're doing good. We're helping people. We're helping people things we know. I really strongly urge you to check out First Home IQ. They have an ambassador program. They have a completely turnkey platform where they'll give you PowerPoint presentations that you can go take into schools or churches or, whatever community center, and you can teach financial literacy. They have a bunch of different presentations, so you can and you can customize it. They have great teaching. They have great leaders there. This is where we can really help, because it's crazy that Gen Zers have $47,000 of credit card debt. That is crazy. And how are they ever going to be able to afford a home when they're lugging around $100,000 of debt at their age, right? We need to kind of teach them. We need to teach these kids earlier. We need to teach them when they're in high school. And so check out First Home IQ. That can really be a positive thing. And I like when we do positive things. And like I said, you might pick up the customer down the road. It's a win-win for everybody. I did a post on this on LinkedIn today. Please, if you get a chance, check out my LinkedIn. I try to put some of the value there once or twice or 3 times a day. I will also put a link to this article down below. I'll probably put a link to First Home IQ too, so you can check it out. And I certainly hope you do. With that, hope you're having a great day. I appreciate you giving me some of your time. Thank you.